Australians are waking up to the sad news this morning that Shane Warne has passed away. The cricket legend died from a suspected heart attack while on holiday in Thailand. Warne was found unresponsive in his villa in Koh Samui and tragically could not be revived by medical staff. The Australian cricket legend is regarded by many as not only the best leg spinner of all time, but also the greatest bowler the game has ever seen. Warne was just 52 years old.
Shane Warne retired as the greatest leg spinner the game had ever seen. But his career began with a splutter rather than a spark. Nobody who watched his 1992 Test debut against India would have thought they were seeing the start of anything special. Just one wicket and smashed for 150 runs. The tubby, mulleted blonde quickly found himself out of the Australian team. Warne, who wanted to play Aussie rules rather than cricket growing up, had to work his way back. Some good performances the following summer put him on the plane to England for the 1993 Ashes, and that's where everything changed.
First ball. Now what's happened? Like Gatting's staying there. The bail is off. He's bowled him. Gatting can't believe it.
His first ball ever in Ashes cricket, widely regarded as the greatest ball ever bowled.
I can understand Mike Gatting being disbelieving.
At the time, you just thought, oh, it was a good delivery. Like, oh, right, who's in next? And it just sort of grown. And I think it was one of the first years we had those big screens at the ground. So after a wicket, we'd all look up, and I said, geez, that's pretty good.
From there, Warne dazzled with a genius never before seen. There'd been leg spinners before, good ones too, but none who had the control of Warne, the cricketing smarts to set up any batsman in the world, and the sheer brilliance to pull it off.
He's bowled him around the legs once again. That's Shane Warne's best bowling in Test cricket.
I think when you watch me play, you could just see that I never ever gave up. I just always thought we could win. And I was very driven.
The myth of Warne would grow. The wrong-uns, the flippers, the sliders, the top spinners. An assortment of deliveries that would make the world's best batsmen look like club cricketers. In 1994, he became the 9th Australian to take a Test match hat-trick. Warne and fast bowler Glenn McGrath were the most devastating 1-2 punch in world cricket, and they were a huge part of Australia's unprecedented success. Warne, the greatest player in what most would consider the greatest cricket team ever assembled. Australia would win 8 straight Ashes series across 16 years, celebrate World Cup glory and record-breaking streaks of Test victories. His bowling feats were the stuff of legends, but he was also accomplished with the bat. Warne has the most runs in Test history for anyone without a century. In 2001, he fell just 1 run short.
There's a man out there who's getting under it, and he's got it. And Shane Warne tragically finishes on 99.
Warne was always the centre of attention, but not always for the right reasons. And on the eve of the 2003 World Cup, world cricket was rocked. Australia's golden boy banned for a year for taking a banned diuretic that Warne always said his mother gave to him to lose weight.
I never ever blame my mum, ever. And it sort of annoys me that people blame my mum. It wasn't fair. All I said was, I got it from my mum, because otherwise people might have thought, oh, diuretic, where'd you get it from? Black market. And I was just being honest about where I got it from and how simple a mistake it can be for anyone.
A year in the cricketing wilderness, and some thought that might have been the end for the ageing Warne, but he would return better than ever. The 2005 Ashes, a series Australia would lose, but it was Warne's finest with the ball.
Bowled him. That's brilliant from Shane Warne. He does it again.
A staggering 40 wickets from the 5 tests. His wizardry equally astonishing for those watching and those trying to play him.
Bowled him! How about that? Absolutely brilliant from Shane Warne. He can bring things out of nowhere.
Leaving the Oval for the last time, Warne was serenaded by the normally abrasive enemy crowd with chants of "Oh, how we wish you were English." Even the old enemy knew they were witness to greatness. The 06-07 Ashes would be the final send-off for Australia's greatest ever bowler after spinning Australia to the most unlikely of victories on day 5 of the now dubbed Amazing Adelaide Test. He announced the series would be his last. That meant one last Boxing Day Test in front of his adoring home crowd. He went to the MCG on 699 wickets. No man had ever reached 700.
Got him! There it is! Wicket number 700! And they can't catch him!
And with one last farewell at the SCG, Warne, along with McGrath and Justin Langer, ended a 15-year international career as the most decorated bowler the world had ever seen. But the on-field deeds would only tell half the Shane Warne story. He was a global celebrity like no one before him. In what could never be described as a high-octane game, and leg spin hardly thrilling, Warne was electrifying. He brought a swagger to the game. A cheeky smile and confident demeanour made him as much a crowd favourite as his extraordinary talents. Swashbuckling on and off the field, Warne became bigger than the game he was playing. An icon that transcended cricket and a legacy that will live on for generations. Shane Keith Warne, a genius, a champion, the king.